First at 4, D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser has issued 2 public emergency orders on epidemics taking far too many lives. We're talking about the youth violence and the opioid epidemics. So glad you're with us here for WSA 9 News at 4. I'm Adam Longo.
And I'm Simone D'Alba. Delia Gonsalves is live outside the Wilson building where the mayor just outlined the orders. And Delia, we know these go into effect immediately, but they only last 15 days. Good evening.
Good evening, Simone. That's right. They only do last 15 days. It'll then be up to the D.C. Council to extend both these public emergencies. And they have good reason to extend at least the opioid emergency because it was just a week ago that D.C. Council passed a measure calling and demanding that the mayor order a public health emergency for the opioid epidemic. And so certainly they say we are facing a crisis and we are on track to lose up to 400 D.C. residents to overdoses this year. In fact, according to council members, just short of 300 D.C. residents have lost their lives to opioid overdoses. In fact, according to the Department of Health and Human Services, the life expectancy has decreased in the nation for the first time in a century, fueled by the opioid epidemic. HHS says fentanyl is linked to 98% of the deadly overdoses in the district, impacting mostly black men living in wards 5, 7, and 8. Now, this public emergency allows the city to keep a common data tracking system. We're told it's real-time data that they will share among agencies.
Having a common data tracking system will give us a better picture of the opioid use and the effects in the district. As the mayor mentioned, we can then deploy outreach teams to those hotspots and offer harm reduction services and support. The goal is to keep people alive.
Now, as you mentioned, the mayor also issued an emergency on the youth violence, which many say is an epidemic in itself. Part of that emergency is calling for the Department of Youth Rehabilitation Services to increase its capacity, allow more children, more youth offenders to be detained or to be housed temporarily in shelters. But we've been hearing so much about overcrowding, riots at the detaining centers, and also staffing shortages. So we asked the director pointedly, how can you ensure adding capacity, adding more kids will make sure that they will be safe? So I'll have his response coming up at 5. For now, we're live outside the Wilson building. Delia Gonsalves, WUSA 9.
Yeah, Delia, it is such an important question to get answered. I'm so glad that you're asking it. Anything that city officials can do at this point to get a handle on both of these epidemics that they're calling it, certainly to save young lives, they should do anything that they can. Appreciate your time. Delia, thank you.